Hi everyone. Oh my goodness. It's Smart Start. It's Friday afternoon. Wow. What happened to me this morning? Right? Oh my goodness. It's just the week came up on me. You know how that feels? It just the week attacks you at the end of the week in some odd way. Hey, John, how are you? Hi, Jean. Hi, Robert. How are you? Robert, thank you for that post of your son's haircut. Oh, my God. I was on my way to Cheddar today. I didn't do my Smart Start this morning. You know how it can be sometimes, just overly exhausted, all kinds of projects. And I'm on the train, on the one train headed to Cheddar to do a segment about the Governor's Island Art Fair, and I see on Facebook that Robert has posted a picture of his son who gets his first haircut. And trust me, I was not feeling it today, and then when I saw that picture, it made me so happy. So sweet, just delicious, especially since we just dropped off our son at college. Okay, Mario, ciao. How's everybody? Jacob's here. Audrey's here. Laura's here. Jose, John. This is fantastic. So great to see everybody today. I don't know if you guys saw Cheddar. Eric, hi. I haven't rewatched it yet. I haven't watched it yet, I should say. So, oh God, I don't even know what I look like on that show today. Yeah, thank you, Laura. I'm so glad to be here too. I usually would never skip a morning, but I just... it was just one of these weeks where it just feels like so much has happened, and I just needed to kind of take a breath and get some more sleep and just breathe a minute, before the weekend starts and before now, Labor Day and the coming fall, and we have a new exhibit going into the Flatiron and just all kinds of stuff. So yes, I'm very happy to be here as well. Okay, so let's play Guess Who. All right? I'm not sure about this one, how everyone's going to feel, but the minute you think you know it, yell it out. All right? Okay. So it's the afternoon, and so you guys caught me at twice. You catch me in the morning at drinking tea and in the afternoon drinking tea. Look at this work. Really love this work. Can you see? I'm going to give you some hints in the line who this artist might be. Think about line. Look at this piece. Love this. There's a primitive quality. There's this color blocking happening, and yet there's a lot of line happening. This person's parents did not want them to suffer the life of an artist, so they decided to study mechanical engineering. An intuitive engineer since childhood. Eric! Now, Eric Friedman, you're right. Very good, Eric Friedman. Calder. And you get a cup. You get a Smart Start cup. And I'm still designing them and sending them out, but trust me, I haven't forgotten. Okay, so let's ask. So let's say he's an intuitive engineer since childhood. Calder did not even know what mechanical engineering was. And he says, I was not very sure what this term meant, but I thought I'd better adopt it, he wrote. And he went to the Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, New Jersey. He said, I wanted to be an engineer because some guy I rather liked was a mechanical engineer. That's all. So I think it's really interesting that he does start out as this mechanical engineer for a brief time. So he's understanding, let's think about that. He's understanding the mechanics of things. He's understanding the movement. He's understanding kinetic, what is kinetic and what is moving. I honestly did not think you guys were going to get it until we got to this part. Elizabeth, I was just at the Whitney Museum of American Art. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. What'd you see at the Whitney? I was actually going to head down there after Cheddar today, and then I thought I have to come back and prepare for this. Hi, Linda. So nice to see you here. Is school starting soon? Linda, we just took our son off to college for the first year. I know Annalise, right, is she still in college? So it wasn't easy. Oh, you did see the Calder, Elizabeth. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. You did see the Calder. That makes sense. That's right. I was going to cover the Calder exhibit at Cheddar too, so I still may do that. But yeah, so hi, Chris. So Elizabeth, tell me, did you see early works like this? Tell me about the Calder. So I want to read you a few things, okay? Dating from 1931, Calder sculptures of discrete movable parts powered by motors were christened mobiles. Guess who christened that title, mobiles? Let's think about who would christen that title. It wasn't Calder, it was another artist who decided to call it mobiles. And if you think about the time frame, 1931, you may come up with it. Just take a wild guess for another cup around here and get another cup. Anyone? Duchamp. Duchamp said they called them mobiles, okay? And it's a French pun meaning both motion and motive. I really like that, motion and motive. Hi, Brenda. Good afternoon on this Friday. So we have motion and motive working together. We have this incredible line happening, right? Okay. By 1932, he moved on to hanging sculptures which derived their motion from touch or the air currents in the room. They were followed in 1934 by outdoor pieces, which were set in motion by the open air. At the same time, Calder was also experimenting with self-supporting static abstract sculptures dubbed stabiles. I think that's the way you pronounce it, right? Stabiles. Anybody know who came up with the name stabiles? It's another artist. Elizabeth says they had big moving mobiles, not the smaller things, and not paintings. Yeah. So aren't you glad you're here today? I'm kidding, Elizabeth. It's a good follow-up to that show, right? Who do you think came up with the term stabiles? And I'm going to give you a little bit of a background about this artist who came up with that term. He worked in line obsessively, line on canvas, motives and motives. Yes, motives and motion. Eric, that's right. He worked with line obsessively, and I absolutely love the artist who came up with it. It's all in that time frame. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to think about that. Hi, Echo. Okay, where am I reading to you? Okay, stabiles. In 1932, to differentiate them from mobiles. And then, okay. He is quoted as saying, not Newman, no, but good try. Two boy, Audrey? Am I reading it correctly? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Hey, Eunice, yay, you're here. God, I'm so happy to see everybody today. This is so great. I had fun at Cheddar. I always have fun at Cheddar because not Giacometti, but very, very good, Elizabeth. I always have fun at Cheddar. It's really great to be on and then talking about art, and they have a huge audience and all, but I really love being here. Okay, why must art be static? You look at abstraction, sculpture or painted, an entirely enticing arrangement of planes, spheres, nuclei, entirely without meaning. It would be perfect, but it is always still. The next step in sculpture is motion. Oh, Cy Twombly, Audrey, that's hilarious. Spell check is hilarious. It's not Twombly. It's earlier than Twombly. He also says, Calder is famous for saying, among other things, that he paints shapes. And I think that that's true, right? This is like painting of shapes. Hi, Annette. How are you today? He paints shapes. Although my favorite quote of his, let me see if I have another one. Let me go back to this one. My favorite quote of his is, "My fan mail is enormous. Everyone is under 6. That is the cutest thing ever. Okay, the stabiles are Jan Ark. Jan Arp came up with the name Stabiles, and Duchamp came up with the name Mobile. So when you think about this, and you think about this time frame that these men lived in and such, and you have this Dada movement and everything, and just them kind of all working together and naming things. I mean, I think it's a really exciting time, and this time in which the thought about work doesn't have to be static and just sculpture, but that they're incorporating this notion of mechanics into it, which becomes very, very important in the 20th century. I was going to show you this notion that we could also, that modernity is upon us, and that you can also add this machine, so to speak, to art, these kinetic sculptures. I love this piece because I thought I didn't show it because it says Calder on it, and you could read that. Colors and shapes, Miro. Exactly, John. Exactly. Hi, Stephen. Hi, James. And this, to me, has so much movement in it. And this is very early in his early work. It has so much movement in it. And at the same time, there's that quality, obviously, it's an elephant, right, of his circus. So I see, as I always say, and our Guess Who's are all through this program, is that there's a through line to artists' work. There's definitely a through line from the beginning, and then onward. Obviously, this artist is deceased, so there's at the end of his life. But there is a through line, and I'm sure with the artists that are watching, there's a tremendous through line through all of your work as well, whether you intend it or not. That when the work is at a particular level, which from the Eric Arp and Chance Techniques, absolutely. Who I can see on the feed, all the work is at a particular level. That through line, it's there, but people outside see it. They can place you, so to speak. They can place that work as an Audrey Phillips, or that's a Phillips piece, that's a Calder piece, it's there, and it becomes something very important to an artist's oeuvre. Eric, I think you bring up a really good point. Yes, Arp was all about chance, this notion of chance. Yet at the same time, he could work for years and years on just getting the perfect shape on a piece of string on a board. Is really interesting. It's really that. I'd love to delve into that a little more. Actually, I'm going to do an art show next week. Thank you, Eric. Why don't you curate that art show, the ARP show, for us? So that would be really nice. So I just want to take a look at these, and I think it's very clear early on that Calder was always Calder. Hi, Willie. Calder was always Calder. It's there, that energy, that quickness, that sensibility of line. Hi, Hazel. He's kind of always, he's there himself. Let's see, Laura says, man with the barbell is especially reminiscent of Giacometti. I absolutely agree with that. And it's so funny because I thought when I show this, that's what people are going to guess, Giacometti. Let me get that for you. I see that as well. It's there, absolutely. In fact, what I see in Calder so much here is the barbell itself. Right? The barbell itself feels Calder-esque, so to speak. But yes, the figure feels very much like Giacometti. I think this piece surprised me a little bit. First of all, it feels so contemporary to me. Let me just see who we have here. Oh, my mother just joined. Yay, Phyllis. Yay, you're here this afternoon. And oh my God, I still don't have your song. Okay, I'll get that there. Hi, Luke. Eric, I'd love to. He's a big influence. Yeah, good. I'd love to. He's a big influence. Great, Eric. Send me images of what you want to show in the order you want to show it. And you will co-curate. When do you want to do it for? Tuesday, Wednesday? You let me know, okay? Okay, so Jean, you're saying Calder does mobiles. The sound is going in and out for me. Okay, you must be talking to Mom. Okay, so I'm sorry. So let's look at this piece. I found this very, very interesting because it's very early. But I do see, and I didn't juxtapose these. Benjamin, I'm going to get to your comment in a second. I didn't juxtapose these, but let me show you right after. Let me show you this image. Look at the machinery in this piece that we're looking at right now, okay? Look at that machinery and look at this. And I should have them on the same page, and I don't. But look at that. Do you see that connection there? It's really amazing. It's almost as if he just changed the lines, created more of an art, a semicircle, and then he of this machinery in the middle. I think that's really stunning. And this one piece is very, very early, late 20s, I think, and this piece comes much later. So I just, Calder was always Calder in some way, even though this is a painting and it's very, it's obviously static, right? It's two-dimensional, and his work is really comes into this three-dimensionality. So that is our smart start for the weekend. Instead of starting the day on Friday, we started the Labor Day weekend, and wondering what all your plans are. Is anybody seeing some art this weekend? I think we're going to go over to Governor's Island tomorrow, where there's the art fair. What I love about it is that the New York Times, I think today or yesterday, called it the art fair for the 99%. And I'm so encouraged by this fair because it's been, it's really the way we've been, that what's happening to the art world, and has been happening for a while, and it can't happen soon enough as far as I'm concerned. Mark DeSuervo, yeah, very good, Eric, I agree. And it's like, you have the art fairs. Everybody goes to Basel, everybody goes to Miami, okay. And they're all about the dealers, and I've done the art fairs. Oh my God, you spend so much money on a fair, and there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees, and the work is tremendous. It's 12 hours a day on your feet. I don't even have a chair in my booth when I'm working an art fair, and it's very, very grueling and taxing work. And you're in, a convention space for the most part. But what I love about the Governor Island Art Fair is that, first of all, Governor's Island in New York hadn't been used for a long time. It was this old army base. And now there's this ferry for $2 that takes you across. And you can get onto the island. It's free. And the art is shown. And the artists are showing the work. There's this company called, I believe it's Four Heads. So you may want to, I can post that for any of the artists that are interested. And they take submissions of artwork. And then you go, and they choose whichever artist, and then you go and you set up. And so your art is seen on the lawn, outside, inside, in army barracks. And it's a way for people, and this is my whole thing, getting art out there, getting art not only in the museums, but outside the museums. Hi, Giuseppe. Hi, Benjamin. When it all it becomes this experience, not only for the art goer, but for the artist as well, because the artists are there and they're interacting with you and talking about it. On Cheddar, they said to me today, what will you do when you go out to the fair? How will you view art? Because they've seen me view art. I'll go into a museum and lie down to see something that's up on the ceiling. I've been told to get up, but Anyway, I said, I will be playing. I'll be running and jumping and going through the art, and hopefully there are kids there, and just really interacting with it all and having a great time with it all. And I think it's so exciting. I think it's so exciting for everybody. And I think it's especially exciting for the artists to just be there and see the reaction to people, from people with their work. And so I have been doing that since 1995 when I started my salon, having artists talk about their work. And some major, major players in the art world told me that they would never make their artists talk about their work, that the artist makes the work and it should say it all, and really got upset that I was doing that in a sense, and they would never do it in their spaces, which was fine. I wasn't trying to repeat anything that anybody else was doing. I was trying to do something new. And now everyone does it. So it's very interesting. And then yet at Governor's Island, they've now taken it a step further. Instead of showing art just in a booth at an art fair that costs a fortune for a dealer, you have artists out there. Their work is being integrated into this fantastic ex or former army base, and these historic buildings and such. So the more we do things like that, the more exciting I think it is for everybody around. Oh, Benjamin, that is hilarious. You'd rather people punch your art than buy it. I'd rather someone buy your art and then punch it. John says, urban construction, this looks very contemporary and photographic-like, similar to an ongoing study I've been working about. Oh, John, post your study. I'd like to see it. Hi, Rick. How are you? Hopefully, if you're in New York and you're out at Governor's Island, I may see you this weekend. Otherwise, I hope you all have an amazing Labor Day weekend and kind of the official start of a new season or a new piece. Let me see what Laura says. New show, Cuba, at Annenberg Space for photography and buying tickets at the Oh, great. That's excellent. Those are two good shows, Laura. That sounds really good. Hazel, I'll be taking part in art shows in Wynwood, Miami tonight, featuring 100 artists. That's great. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Hi, Frederick. Hi, Matt. That's really great. For the artists that are showing, excellent. For the artists that are going to exhibits, or everybody that's going to exhibits, it's all great, right? It's just all great. So you're an old beatnik, Benjamin? I kind of had that feeling. Didn't know you were old, but thought a little bit of the beatnik side there. I could hear it. I get it. But everybody still has to make a living in art, so I get your points about it being a capitalist tool, but I try to keep a lot of artists well-fed, always. That show at the Army Barracks sounds super interesting. Oh, good question, Hazel. It's actually up for a month. They actually keep it up. It's every weekend for the month of September. And you know what? Oh, I know what's so interesting about that. Thank you for the question, Hazel, because I didn't mention this on Cheddar. Cheddar happens so fast for me. I never know what questions they're going to throw at me. But this show that started like 10 years ago with maybe 50 artists and now has a few hundred and has expanded, this show has now become the unofficial start of the fall art season. Isn't that amazing? I just find that amazing because I'm telling you, when I started in this field and working for other dealers and such, there was an official start of the art season, and it had nothing to do with the artists of the 99% putting up their own work, working without dealers. These are people who are, trying to get their art seen, and I'm certainly going out there to look for new artists and such. And now they've become the unofficial start. And I love that. I love that change is happening in this world that is often very, very staid, and very difficult to navigate. Let's see. Great talk. Thank you, Eric. It's Governor's Island, Hazel. Go onto my Facebook page. There's a listing there. So Governor's Island, and there's a ferry out from Manhattan. So thank you all very much for joining me this afternoon. And I will see you. I will be here Monday for Labor Day. We'll do our Van Gogh Monday. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And I'll see you then. Okay? Bye.